What's up, you guys? It's AvrLR32 here, bringing you guys another deck profile. But today I'm doing a different deck profile. It's another retro deck profile. I haven't done a retro deck profile in a long time. This is the Goat Control deck that I was using last night with Gijik Scapegoat. We played for like an hour and a half last night. He was using Yada and I was using Goat Control, and we played like 8 games or something. It was a lot of fun. And so I just wanted to show off my deck list here, and I can finally say that on my YouTube channel I have a Goat Control build on my channel. um, so now my channel is more quote unquote complete because now um, the goat deck is on here. This is pretty much considered worldwide, I guess you could say, in the Yu-Gi-Oh world, as the best format of all time. Some would also argue saying that Teledad was also a good format. Before Teledad, this was the best format. People still play this format. It's almost well, there was like an 04 and 05 kind of goat control. I've seen other deck profiles where they said 05 or 04 goat control, 05 goat control. So it's safe to say that this deck is like 9, 10 years old. And really the game was played so much differently. You know, you would maybe normal summon a monster, maybe set 2 cards in your back row and then end your turn. And you had to play a lot differently than you normally would because Nolman of Crossout was a card. Um, it it was so amazing in the mirror match because you could Nolman to cross out your opponent's Magician of Faith. All of their copies of Magician of Faith would be banished. They would have no way to get it back. Um, or you could even, you also ran cards like Mystic Tomato, so they could just Nolman to cross out, banish a Mystic Tomato, make them waste their Nolman to cross out. Scapegoat, of course, is the big card. That's why the games went so slow, because you could just stall out with Scapegoat and replenish your hand. Azura Priest was amazing in the mirror match because you could take down all of your opponent's scapegoats. It couldn't attack directly, and it would just return to your hand. So if they did have any other copies of scapegoats ready, you could just take them all out and then proceed to attack them with other cards like Spirit Reaper to mess up their hand, Arknight Parsath, which did piercing battle damage, and also some builds did use Exarion Universe, but this is Matt Petal's build, and he didn't use that. Same was jumping into the deck list. We have BLS, Jinzo, Arknight Parshath, DD Assailant, this was the tech back then, Azura Priest, Breaker, Tribe Infecting Virus, DD Warrior Lady, Mystic Tomato, Nidoria, Tsukiyomi, Sangan, Spirit Reaper, Double Magician of Faith, and the amazing Sinister Serpent. It comboed so well with cards like Graceful Charity. When you needed a card to discard, you just discard Sinister Serpent and then get it back on your next standby phase. Um, you um, yeah, you know, you could use it for that. You could use it for Lightning Vortex. Um, Jinzo was also in there because most GOAT builds were not using, what do you call it, a huge trap lineup, but it was also a good 2400 beater. It was an okay card back then, and against other decks that weren't using GOAT control that may have been using a lot of traps, it helped out a lot. And then Tribe Infecting Virus, we all know, is broken. BLS is BLS. Tsukiyomi, because you could just, you know, play Tsukiyomi, flip your Magician of Faith face down, flip it back up, get another spell card. So good. Moving on to the spells, Snatch Steal, Heavy Storm, Pot of Greed, the mindless +1. Delinquent Duo, so good. If your opponent has just 2 cards in their hand, you can just wipe out their entire hand just for a measly 1,000 life points. Before the wind up hand loop was cool, we had Delinquent Duo. Graceful Charity, the mindless +2-ish, maybe +1. Still mindless. Triple Scapegoat, MVP. Double Metamorphosis. You can tribute tokens for Metamorphosis to drop Thousand Strict. You could tribute, you know, any of your level 1s to drop Thousand Strict. That's really all that you really need in the Fusion deck, really, was just these. But you could also have good level 8s like Gatling Dragon to toss 3 coins, or toss a coin 3 times, then destroy monsters on the field equal to the number of heads. You could tribute off BLS for that. Level 6, you could Snatch Steal your opponent's Jinzo and then Metamorphosis to a level 6. So many good plays. Lightning Vortex, self-explanatory. And Dark Hole wasn't out then, and Raigeki was banned. Swords of Revealing Light, Prima, MST, Creature Swap, Book of Moon, Double Nolman, a Crossout, Traps, Ring and Destruction, Mirror Force, Call the Haunted, Bottomless, Torrential, and Dust Tornado. Back then it was called the Fusion deck. Now it's called the Extra deck. Gatling Dragon, you could, like, there's so many nutty combos with this. You could just go Snatch Steal, take your opponent's level 8, go Metamorphosis into this. Metamorphosis provides so many plays. But yeah, you can use Metamorphosis, tribute off your own BLS, bring out this level 8. Thousand Eyes are strict. You have plenty of level 1s. Magician of Faith, Sinister Serpent, your scapegoat tokens. More than enough targets, really, for Thousand Eyes are strict. And he's your main MVP of the extra deck. Or fusion deck, sorry. Dark Blade, whenever he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can select up to 3 monster cards from their graveyard and remove them from play. Really, really good. Helps get rid of their Magician of Faiths, anything that they could try and possibly get back, whether it be like with Prima or whatever. Ryo Senshi, he, as long as he remains visible on the field, you can negate the effect of a normal trap by paying 1,000 life points, and then negate the effect of a spell card that targets this card and destroy it. And he is a level 6, and then Dark Balter was 2 level 5s, and Dark Blade was also another level 6. Dark Balter, when a normal spell card is activated, you can negate the effect by paying 1,000 life points, and then the effect of an effect monster that this monster destroys as a result of battle is negate. So he can negate spells and effect monsters, and then Ryu Senshi can negate traps and spells. So if you could drop both of these guys, you've locked out pretty much your opponent's spells and traps and effect monsters. Reaper on the Nightmare. Same effect as Spirit Reaper, can't be destroyed. If he's targeted by spell, trap, or effect monster, then he's destroyed. He can attack your opponent's life points directly, and then whenever he inflicts battle damage, your opponent discards 1 card randomly from his or her hand. Very, very good, and it's another level. It's another level 5. Same thing as Cyber Source, another level 5. Flame Ghost, level 3. You could use Metamorphosis, tribute off Sangan, bring out him, and he has pretty much the same stats as Sangan. Dark Fire Dragon, you're level 4, in case you need to get rid of one of your level 4s, or even Snatch Steal your opponent's level 4. Use Metamorphosis to bring out this. Dark Flare Knight, another level 6. Fiend Skull Dragon is just another level 5 you can bring out. Fiend Skull, as long as he remains faceable on the field, you can negate the effects of flip effect monsters and negate the effects of a trap card that targets this card. And then Dark Flare Knight, you take no battle damage from battles involving him, and then when he's destroyed by battle, send the graveyard, you start summoning Mirage Knight. He's just pretty much 22 beat stick. And you can sit him on board to take no battle damage and stall for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's pretty much the Goat Control deck profile. A very, very fun deck to use. The deck was, I was talking to one of my friends because I got the inspiration to play this deck again with Gage on Dueling Network when 2 of my friends at locals yesterday were playing it. And I actually asked my friend, I said, was the deck like expensive? Was it cheap? He said, no, pretty much everything came common. Like the only real expensive stuff was Mirror Force, which was like $50, which was a lot back then, and BLS was maybe like 20 to 30 back then. So excluding those 2 cards, everything else came common in this deck. And apparently even Sinister Serpent came common. And even if it didn't, if it only came secret rare, it wasn't that much. But yeah, guys, that's it for this deck. Will this deck ever come back? Hell no, because Tribe Infecting Virus is too broke. Sinister Serpent, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, and Raigeki Break are cards. Ring of Destruction is too broke. Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity are mindless pluses. Sangan, it's Sangan. Magician of Faith, Spellbook of Judgment is out right now. Hell no. Magician of Faith will never come back. Delinquent Duo, no. This card is never coming back. Snatch Steal, hell no, it's never coming back. Prima, I'd like to see Prima come back to 1 and ban Monster Reborn, that's just me. Because it's the exact same switch off, except you just have to pay 800 life points. And then Scapegoat's only at 1. I would like to see this come back to 3. I really don't see it being a big deal if it came back to 3. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really nostalgic to play this deck. For those of you that haven't played Thousand Eyes Strict, yeah, that card's never coming back. Metamorphosis, I would like to see that come back to 1. I don't really think it'd do much to the format, but that's just me. But yeah, you guys, like I said, extremely nostalgic. If you haven't played this deck already, I highly suggest you play it. It's an extremely skillful deck to play, especially in the mirror match. It requires a lot of skill. Pretty much if you play a mirror match with this deck, the player with more skill is going to win. That's just been a proven fact with this format and this deck. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this retro deck profile. Leave a thumbs up if you want to see more, and I will be more than happy to do more. I can do Troop, Dupe, Scoop. I could do Frog FTK. I can do, whatever kind of deck you want me to do. I really do not mind. It's been really fun going back and playing these old decks, so we don't have to deal with BS E-Dragons and crap. And hopefully they will get killed next format, so I can actually start possibly playing again next format. Played E-Dragons for the first time yesterday at my locals and got my butt handed to me, and it was, I was just like, screw this, I don't want to play you, I don't want to play this game, I'm just going to give it to you, and you can go jerk off with your E-Dragons. But yeah, other than that, like I said, this deck is extremely fun to play. I cannot express that enough. and let me know if you do want to see more. And that is it. Thank you guys for watching this retro deck profile, and goodbye.